Hi everybody! Everyone knows that whales are the biggest mammals on Earth, while elephants are the biggest land animals. However, we won't be talking about them today, but rather about the animals whose size is abnormal for their species. Now you'll get to see some unrealistically large animals. Passerbys identify this animal as many things: a cat, a dog, a hamster. Few people know that it's a capybara, the pet of Melanie Tipaldos and her daughter Coral. It should be noted that Melanie and Coral's capybara is of the Kui breed, which is known for its gigantic size as compared to its small relatives. The capybara's owner, Melanie Tipaldos, first saw these cute creatures during a trip to Venezuela. Her daughter Coral picked up a capybara and fell in love with this animal forever. This pet can be safely included in the list of the most unusual pets. After returning home, they started looking for shops selling rare animals. They ended up buying an 11-day-old capybara from an exotic animal farm in Texas. They named it Kaplan RUS. RUS stands for Rodent of Unusual Size. RUS has become a real family member and even travels with the family. Have you ever eaten an oyster? Did you eat it whole? How big do you think oysters can be? The largest live oyster was caught off the coast of Denmark. Restaurants are already trying to figure out how much foodies would pay for it. The giant oyster weighs over 2 kilograms. The massive mollusk is 33 centimeters long and was caught in Vaden, in the northern part of the Zuiderzee. This specimen is the largest living oyster ever found. Experts believe that it took this oyster 20 years to grow this big. Oysters grow from 3 to 7 centimeters per year in the first years of life, but as they get older, their growth slows down. Another addition to the Guinness Book of Records was made in 2013. A Great Dane called Zeus was listed as the tallest dog that ever lived. His height is 111.8 centimeters and his weight is over 70 kilograms. Zeus was born in Otago, a town in Michigan, USA. Standing next to this incredibly big dog, his owners look like some teenagers. If Zeus were to suddenly decide to stand on his hind legs, his height would be 2.2 meters, causing envy in all basketball coaches. Using top shelves to hide treats from Zeus was never a good idea. The daily diet of this Great Dane consists of 14 kilograms of dog food. This huge Great Dane causes mixed feelings in passerbys. The owner, Denise Dorlag, shared that sometimes she heard questions like, "Is it a dog or a horse?" And it's nothing to be offended at because this dog could easily compete with ponies in size. Those who are especially brave asked to take a picture with Zeus, which, surprisingly, the dog didn't mind at all. Like all well-behaved Great Danes, Zeus was distinguished by his noble and good nature. His endless loyalty to the owners was expressed not only in his impeccable obedience, but also in the desire to sit on his lap. Kevin Dorlag, the dog's owner, said that it was rather difficult for the dog to understand why he could previously sit on the owner's lap, but now his owners began to avoid this particular show of affection. As of today, there are 150 to 300 horse breeds in the world. Most horses are average in height, from 1.5 meters up to 160 centimeters. Big Jake is the tallest living horse in the world. It was included in the Guinness Book of Records. Big Jake is of the Belgian draft breed from Wisconsin. Its height is 2.17 meters at the withers, and it weighs over a ton. According to the animal's owner, passerbys involuntarily exclaim in surprise when they see Big Jake on the street. However, despite its gigantic stature, the horse has a friendly disposition. It likes to play and fool around. Oh, by the way, Big Jake takes an active part in various kinds of charity events. What do you imagine a pig looks like? The average weight of a pig doesn't exceed 300 kilograms. But there are farms in China that breed especially huge pigs whose weight averages about 500 kilograms, which is already incredibly heavy. But when one of the pigs' weight reached 900 kilograms, it was shocking, but it wasn't the world record. The biggest pig in history to this day is Big Bill from Texas. He became the record holder in 1933 when its owners barely managed to deliver the animal to the fair. It set the world record at a weight of 1,158 kilograms. Anyone who loves fishing dreams of catching a big fish. So here's some news for you. A giant fish weighing 160 kilograms and larger than a human in size was caught in the waters of the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Florida, USA. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission has identified the sea trophy as the Warsaw grouper. This fish was caught in the open sea in a traditional way by hook and line at a depth of more than 180 meters. The photographs show that the fish is larger than the person that caught it. Experts from the FWRI's Age and Growth Lab estimated the age of the fish at 50 years old, which made it the oldest sample collected by the team studying the aging of aquatic organisms. But the biggest grouper was caught in Florida in 1961 and weighed 308 kilograms, while the second biggest one weighed 198 kilograms and was caught in 1985 in the Gulf of Mexico. And here's another marine record holder. Fishermen in India caught a huge stingray that weighed almost a ton. As reported by the Orissa Post, the fish was caught off the coast of the Indian state of West Bengal. The giant stingray, weighing 900 kilograms, could barely be pulled out of the water. Fishermen say that this kind of fish is quite uncommon for this region. This particular fish probably lost its way and got stuck in the shallow water, not being able to return to the open ocean because of the large waves. Back on shore, the fishermen showed their catch and it immediately got a lot of attention. The fish was sold to a merchant for 20,000 rupees, or $273. The buyer planned on taking the fish to Calcutta, where he could sell it at 4 times the price. On one of the Australian farms lives a steer named Knickers. For some unknown reason, it has grown much bigger than all of its relatives. Knickers weighs 1,400 kilograms, and it is almost 2 meters high at the withers. When it goes out to the pasture with the other cows, it rises above them like a tower. It's definitely one of those cases where being different is a good thing, since it was its huge size that saved Knickers' life. The meat processing plant simply refused to accept it, so the owners decided to keep Knickers as a kind of mascot for their farm. This huge crocodile looks more like a monster from Jurassic Park than an actual crocodile, because it weighs over half a ton. In fact, there are larger crocodiles in nature, but they aren't all that easy to find. In this case, however, the giant crocodile walked right across the golf course in Florida, USA. Steele Lafferty was playing golf when a huge crocodile just ran out onto the course. Lafferty didn't get scared of the dangerous guest and simply continued playing. The huge crocodile strolled on the grass some few meters away from Lafferty. My shot was really good, and that was really the only thing I was worried about. I had to make par on the hole because we had a bet going, and I was more worried about winning the bet than getting eaten, he said. The crocodile then disappeared into a lake. Fortunately, no one got hurt. And what would you have done if you saw a huge crocodile? Well, that's it for today, friends. Rate this video and share it with your friends. We'll see you next time.